Okay, I just clicked this thing on here. Mic check. Seems like I'm live. Mr. Blue here, TradePhantoms.com. Should be good to go. Mic check, mic check. Good morning, Montu, my man. Good morning, good morning. Carpe diem. Seize the day. If I could seize this angle here, that'd be nice. All right, good morning, good morning. People kind of scrambling in. Joe, J-O, the GOAT, the man himself. Mean Boy Coins, Ali, good morning, good morning. Terry, Terry's in the house. All right, I'm done fumbling with this thing here. Let's go, let's dive in. We got work to do, right? All right, TradePhantoms.com, Mr. Blue here. Going to be an hour session as usual. I'm sure anybody who, the Phantoms in here already know. And if you're watching this on stream or watching the recording, 1 hour session, right? Pretty consistent on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but yours truly, Mr. Blue. And we're going to talk a lot about demand, supply, institutional order flow levels, okay? And then give you an hour of kind of some pre-market prep, and I'll trade the open if I see some valid setups, as always, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, TradePhantoms.com, and today's date, 9/5, September 5th, 2024, Thursday, new month. So make sure you're updating your charts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Actually, that being said, diving right in, I always like to kick this off here with this. So we're going to be a little bit more futures and stock options oriented here within this hour. I know a couple of people were asking about Forex. Maybe at some point I could do a Forex morning prep with y'all for the tube. But starting this off here, kind of formally, if you will, I always just bring this up no matter what day it is. All right, system, process, right? Supply, demand, supply as a backdrop, foundation, institutional order flow, understanding the proper levels of demand and supply. Okay, structure. Okay, trend, location. We always want to start with what's called the top-down approach, multiple time frame analysis. Okay, so we get the monthly, the weekly, the daily. I kind of color code things here. This should look familiar to most folks. Okay, mapping out last month's high, last month's low. We have a new month, so make sure you map that out. Okay, last week's high, last week's low. A couple of questions here to kickstart your trade plan, if you will. Some candlestick patterns, great, bullish, location being most important. Okay, and then we have bearish candlesticks as well, super important. Okay, location being most important. Okay, and we're going to identify this in context of downtrends or supply, and then the liquidity map, which is my favorite thing to discuss and talk about in terms of execution. Okay, so yeah, this might get brought up, give or take, but in the live trade rooms, we definitely bring that up all the time. So let me kick this over into, before I go, we do have a couple of, so I'll get to the futures market in a moment here, but just as a quick note, we do have a couple of news catalysts today, being Thursday the 5th. Of September, and one of them is just passed, which was, or two of them just passed. One of them was the ADP non-farm. Okay, that came in lower than expected, and then we have unemployment that came in higher than expected. Unemployment claims that came in higher than expected. Okay, so we have at 10 a.m. I would also put a note on your radar for ISM Services PMI. So that's another decent big one there as well. You'll notice in a moment when I go over to the charts that S&P futures are kind of choppy right now. So just be careful. It's always a matter of how the markets are going to react and respond to these news announcements. Okay, but yeah, we have a couple of things here that to work on a backdrop of today's trading session. Okay, so just make sure if you are trading the open at 10 a.m. Eastern, we do have that news announcement. So just make sure that you're making adjustments. Okay, locking in some gains if you have it. Tightening up some risk. Okay, reducing some exposure if you still have it on. Okay, just because that could kind of rock things just a little bit there. Okay, sometimes you get like a flush up or a flush down, and that could kind of change just very shortly. That could potentially change, or that could change the market a little bit for right, at least for your trades that you're already in. All right, and or that could change the tone for the day. So just be alarmed and alert for that. Okay, let's get over to the charts. Yeah. So let's see, let's get over here. So this is think or swim. Let me just go to the major 4 indexes here. Okay, so I got the S&P futures on the left, upper left. I got the NASDAQ upper right. I got the Dow Jones lower left, and I have the Russell 2000 bottom right here. Futures, everything on a daily time frame here right now. I'll pop open this bad boy here. So again, this is a S&P's futures. Okay, long story short here, okay, there goes that new month, okay, September 3rd, which was the first trading day of this new month of September. And as you can see, the market kind of finally broke out with some authority out of that range that we've been in for 2 weeks, give or take, right? And so yesterday was a fairly interesting day in that, it was a slow grind lower, right? We went a little bit higher, lower. So, with this backdrop of this bearish engulfing bar here, below the 20-period moving average on the 20-period moving average. Good morning, IOF. YT, YouTube, on YouTube. YT is on YouTube, my man. Good morning. It's going to be interesting. We can lean against this bar now. Okay, we can lean against this bar. Yesterday we had a breakdown. Okay, and then we came back and retested. Okay, we've been discussing a lot in the trade room, and even just on YouTube, even with these 1-hour sessions here, that that's put wall, the 555. So I'm on SPYs here on a daily time frame, the SPY on a daily time frame. We had this put wall here at 555 right here. So it's used as demand, support, demand, all for the past 2 weeks. And then Monday finally broke it. Yesterday, we rallied right back up as a retest. Okay, so what was once a solid level of demand broke, and then yesterday came up, and around the high of yesterday, where we kind of paused for the day and put in the high of the day. We actually had some bullish trades on coming up into there that was very short-lived because we came up to this level right here, used it as a retest, and we slapped back down, and then we were below VWAP for the rest of the day for the most part. Okay, so this level is going to be fairly critical to see if this is going to holding or not. And just while I'm here, really quickly, okay, I will make a note. I will make a note of this. Actually, let me do it on Think or Swim. Let me get back over here. Let me get to futures first, then I'll go to SPY. So I just wanted to let y'all know about that call and put wall. So now it's kind of being used as supply resistance on the other side. So as you can see today, right now, futures are slightly down 0.17%. Still inside bar from yesterday's high, yesterday's low. So a fairly quiet overnight session for the most part. Okay, I'll map out some Globex trap levels in a moment. It's going to be fairly, for the most part, it's going to be the same as the past several days. The one thing I will make a note here is just want to be a little careful within this space. All right, and I'll make a note of this as well for when I go to SPYs. But here's the current price, right? Current price is over here to the hard right edge. If I look over here, down and left of over here of how you analyze the proper, right? If we were to come down in price, what are we hitting to the left? The key takeaway that I want to just mention really quickly here is we just have to be a bit careful because there's really not a lot of structure here on the higher time frames being dailies and weeklies. Structural zone here, if right, for us to like really lean against. Okay, other than we get down here testing the Japan carry trade unwind lows. Okay, we have the 200-period moving average down here as well, which is a major one here, and this is yearly VWAP hanging down here as well on the S&Ps in addition to. So we have this, we're going to be in an interesting spot because how much is this market going to correct? Okay, on YouTube and on Twitter, everybody's saying like, oh, this is going to be a crash like 2008. We're going to come down, and then we have other people saying, nope, election year. This market's going to fade higher and finish the year pretty strong. So that's what makes a market. I've learned a long time ago that for a market to really rally, you need people to not believe it. Okay, so because you need people that are shorting this market, thinking that we are going to crash, and then as markets kind of fade higher, they're forced to get squeezed out and buy to cover as more buy to enters are coming into the market too, being bullish. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Okay, in the room we're going to be talking a lot about staying really close to this correction. And yeah, seasonality wise, the beginning of September, in most cases, okay, you have a little bit more of a bigger pullback down. Okay, coming into October, and then October, November. November, you typically get a flip. So, just stay the course, okay? Keep it, day by day, week by week. I'll show you the weekly candle formation that on SPYs that we can reference to use as a guide, okay? So just take it kind of day by day, week by week, paint those bars, as we say, okay? I could say the same thing for NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ has been a bit more weaker. Okay, NASDAQ has been a bit weaker in terms of, we bounced off this low here on the monthlies. Okay, we've been kind of, came up to that famous 20,000 handle that I was mentioning here, level on level. Great, talked about that multiple times. Okay, put in an engulfing bar, inside bar break, inside bar break. Okay, inside bar, big break on Monday. And then yesterday, NASDAQ was a bit more, NASDAQ actually was, I wouldn't say stronger, but it was just because it got pummeled so much on Monday with tech sell-off on Monday, or deeper sell-off with NVIDIA. Just yesterday we had a little bit of a bigger move out. Is there a room set up or YouTube only? There is a room set up on the at TradePhantoms. Usually, there is rooms set up at TradePhantoms. This is only YouTube, but we also have, I'm just streaming live for about an hour. But we do have a trade room where, for example, yesterday I traded all the way to the close with some folks in the room. So I'm kind of insane like that, where I'm only supposed to do like 2-3 hours, but I go all the way full through to the close sometimes. Not every day, but depends on the vibe. Okay, so yeah, we do have a trade room. One thing I do make a note of as well, we have this level down in here. Oh, you were there. Okay, cool. So yeah, Fridays. There you go. You were there. So yeah, today we don't have a trade room, but tomorrow we entering the trade room on Friday. All right, beautiful. So yeah, I do have this level down in here, which we'll make a note of, 18,600. Okay, 18,600, 500, give or take, down in here. All right, so I'll make a note of that. And again, real quick, I will go over to the Qs in a moment, but pretty interesting. Again, I could say the same thing, but we don't really have a lot of structural level. The Qs, the S&Ps do have, the NASDAQ did have a little bit of a structural level down here, which I just said on the NASDAQ. All right, but it's gonna be fairly interesting. I kind of drew the impulse correction waves on the monthly being in orange here. Then I drew the daily minor impulse corrections waves on in blue here. So it'll be pretty interesting to see if, over here on the other side of this, we can potentially put in a, right shoulder over here. Okay, pretty interesting. Failure to make a new low or retest bottom here. But we first order of business is, are we going to test those Japan lows on how far is this correction going to be, or is it a correction itself? Okay, or is it just going to be, is this going to be the lower high and then we put in a lower low? All right, even if that does happen in the NASDAQ, okay, we have multiple levels of demand down in here that we can lean against. But let's take, we're not crossing that bridge just yet. Okay, so if I had more time, all right, I'd go over this a bit more in detail. All right, and as y'all know, in the trade room, we will when we do have a lot more time. Okay, we'll be on track of it. We'll be on top of that. Okay, let me just get back to the program here. So mapping out yesterday's high, yesterday's low, make sure. Okay, we got Russell 2000, which is just a headache right now. It's just hard to follow through. Okay, I took a loss on Russell on a swing trade. Okay, it's just, yes, small caps like, lower rates, but it's just that IWM small cap trade is just taking forever to kind of pan out, but you have to be patient. So we'll see. All right, and Dow Jones, I'm really not much of a Dow Jones guy, more of like a NASDAQ, S&P, and I do like me some small caps as well. So what I'm gonna do here is go to the monthly, weekly, daily. So Thinkorswim monthly, weekly, daily. Let me switch over to futures. Stay the course on futures for right now. Okay, so cool. So I got the monthly, I got the weekly, get the daily. All right, I'll drill down on the, well, actually, let me do it here too. I'm hoping y'all can see this candle here. Okay. Now check this out. I'll give you a little something. We discussed this a little bit yesterday in the trade room. But what's interesting about this weekly candle here so far is just really quickly, because this is fairly important here. If you notice over here, okay, so over here we have, okay, green, right, bottoming tail here. We have a nice little, belt hold, wide range bar here. And we had another week here. So this is S&P futures. The point that I'm trying to make is if you look at if I cover this up just over here real quick and you look at this kind of 3-bar pattern here. Okay, so we had a green bar here, right? And then we had a doji, right? We had a bottoming tail here, right? And that signifies that, bulls are still trying to take over, right? Last week's close was, towards the end of the week on Friday, we pushed higher, just closed at the top of the range, okay? And we put in a bottoming tail, okay? Now that should be typically bullish, okay? If we break above this, that could be typically bullish where the bulls are, basically carrying over into the next week to where we break that last week's high with that hammer, right? Now, location-wise, we are fairly high, testing all-time highs in the S&Ps, right? So so far we have failed to make a higher high right now. And last week, not yesterday, last week, we put in a bottoming tail. Now, if this is happening at supply, so notice I have monthly, weekly, daily supply right here, okay, on the cheat sheet that we developed here at Phantoms, right? The document that I go over every single morning, right? What happens is if you have a bottoming tail here and it's at supply and we start to break below it, it becomes what's called a hanging man. Okay, so this candle right here, last week's high and low, now that we're breaking below it and remaining below it so far, and today's Thursday, we still have today to close and then Friday to close the week. If we remain below this quote unquote last week's low, okay, which I just discussed very briefly too, because yesterday we came back up and tested it, okay, Monday big break, okay, yesterday, Tuesday, we retested it. If we remain below this last week's low, this could give us some a formation, if you will, that the sellers are just taking over the buyers just temporarily right now, and we could have a bit more of a deeper correction down in here. Okay, so this week's close is going to be fairly interesting to see what entails. We still have today and Friday to close that bar, so that might let us know that maybe this correctional move is not just over just yet, so we could potentially fade down just a little bit more lower. Okay, so again, paint those monthly, weekly, daily bars. Okay, so I just wanted to make a note of that there for YouTube. So we'll see. All right, right now we are still remaining below that last week's low. Okay, so there you go. All right, now moving on here, I'm gonna go drop down to the, I got the monthly, weekly, daily, right? Just gave you a little snippet on the weekly, okay? And then there goes that engulfing bar right there. So that's what we can lean against, okay? That's what we can lean against. Now I'm gonna go over to the smaller time frame. I have the 60-minute time frame S&P futures upper left. I have the 30-minute, I have the 5, and I have the 2. So I'm just gonna go really quickly here, open up the 60-minute time frame S&Ps. Futures, one of the first things that we want to do is map out our Globex high, which is a fancy word for overnight high, which is here, okay, and marked off in blue, right here, okay, and Thinkorswim, this gray space is the overnight session, okay, so this is the overnight Globex high, this blue line right here so far is the Globex low, okay, and pretty simple, if we break Globex high, do we have supply up, all right, here's current price, if I look up and left, do I have an institutional order of institutional level of supply? Okay, we do have one here. We have a drop, we have a basing and a drop. So impulse, basing, impulse, and long story short, this was that famous 5-5 SPY put wall. Okay, that was just not breaking. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this 55.80 forever, right? Tested here, and that was locking the range high and low, high and low, high and low for S&Ps and NASDAQ for 2 weeks, right? S&Ps mainly. Okay, and then finally, we came down, we based. Buyers try to step back in, buyers try to step back in, and then sellers said nope. All right, this week we're flipping and we're coming down. So what was once that massive demand put wall, okay, holding markets up, came down, and then we have what buyers try. You can see the wicks here, right? Open, right? They try to take it, try to take it, and then sellers took back over. So this is going to be a nice little what's called flip level, which was once supply. Now, once demand, has now supply on the other side. So in short, in English here, 5575, 5592, give or take, is going to be an area where we can have a Globex trap short for a potential short trade. Okay, and that's going to be breaking yesterday's high, so that could be also a trap as well. Okay, in class I talk in more detail about some parameters regarding what the Globex trap entails. Okay, but for right now I'm just giving y'all the levels and letting y'all know. Okay, now one thing I will make a note here, and this is extremely important. Okay, sometimes when you see levels like this, okay, and remember still we're in a macro bull uptrend. Okay, S&Ps right before we broke down, we're only 1% off the all-time highs. Okay, it's funny, people are like, oh man, this market's a bear market, and market's going down, this world's going to end, right? But it's like the S&Ps just 2 weeks ago, okay, or last week even, was 1% off the all-time highs. Okay, and equally weighted S&P is making an all-time high. So FANG is just holding this market down, which was FANG was holding this market up, all right, for the past 2 years. Okay, so really it's just tech weakness or tech, tech calmness, all right, because tech was just insanely bullish. So technology sector is very strong. So A lot of that's happening right now with this pullback has to do with the technology sector just commenting its butt down, right? So anyways, that's more, we need more of a discussion, more time for that. The note that I wanted to make here that was extremely important getting back to it is this. I would suggest not to put your stop loss right above here, okay? So this could be a stop loss. If you're shorting, I would suggest not to put your stop loss right above here. So this could be a stop loss sweep, okay? So liquidity sweep. So especially in the macro bull market, right? So if and when we do break this Globex high, we snap yesterday's high, we come up into this drop, this base, and this drop, this IBI level of supply right here at 55.75. Okay, you might want to even let this come in deeper. Okay, and I would even say, I was saying to the group yesterday, you might even want to put your entry where people have their stop losses potentially here right above this level. Okay, so if you sell short at 55.75 and you put a stop loss, say at 55.92 plus 2 ticks, right, 2 ticks above this supply level, okay, your stop loss, which you sold short, buy to enter, okay, it could come up, swipe you out, and then your buy to enter stop loss could be a sell short to enter for a liquidity sweep, and then it could potentially mean revert. Okay, so it happened yesterday in SPYs, okay, where I traded options, so I allowed myself to basically had a level yesterday that when the markets were a little bit more choppy, okay, I had a level, and I didn't really want to stop out right above the level, so I traded options on it versus the S&P futures, okay? And so what happened was it swiped up just a bit above the level by a couple of ticks, couple of cents on SPYs, okay? And then we started to fade back down, okay? So the point that I'm trying to make in short, in English, okay, just be careful for a stop loss liquidity sweep above here. So I would rather y'all put your entry at or around up here. Okay, so there's other concepts that we talk about. We can leg into this. Okay, we can pyramid into this. All right, so in short, the 5592 is going to be an area where potentially where you can have that bit of a sweep. Okay, then we have another level up here, 5625. Okay, that would be the next level up above here for a potential global short. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave that there. And then below here, I want to be a bit more careful here, but we have, I have 54.86 and I have 54.55, 54.55 down in here if I just scroll down. These are not the greatest levels in the world, okay? The better one might be the 54.55 just because that was developed during the regular trading hours, but this is a retest of this, so it's not really a lot of prime levels here. So I want to be a little bit careful here, but 54.15 is also a bit of a fresher level down in here, okay? So there's the S&Ps, okay? And right now we're just kind of meandering in this Globex high, Globex low. Very choppy right now with a couple of news announcements that just came out. All right, so just be careful there. All right, I'm gonna do NASDAQ futures. All right, monthly, weekly, daily, okay, same thing, but I'm gonna go straight to the point here on the 60, mapping out our Globex high here. Globex low here. All right, at this level here, okay, for demand that right now, what is it, 18,900, give or take. All right, we've just been yesterday, yesterday we could not break this, right? This was Monday's big drop basing, okay? So we're still in the range of kind of, Monday's low, and then yesterday was just an, inside day, what have you, okay? And so we're still kind of in that basing here. So interesting. So same thing, I'm not gonna go through the whole spiel here. All right, same thing, what was once, demanded down in here, okay? Broke it, supply. Okay, so we have an IBI here, 19,150, I'm sorry, 140, 19,2, call it 40 up here. Again, you see this little ellipse right here. Okay, that is gonna be potentially that Globex liquidity sweep here. Let me just make a note of that. I'm not gonna go on the whole, again, spiel on this. All right, make that more visible. I realize y'all not might be able to see that. I might be able to get this sweep right above this level. I have 19,460 up there as well. All right. Yeah, so you can see the levels I'm hoping. Okay. 19,140, 19,240, 19,460. Okay. All right, you can see for some of my phantoms, the IBI here, the drop, the basing. Okay, that's all trading is, folks, is just buying and selling demand supply. So understanding that as a concept where the buyers are trying to fight, they gave out more supply being absorbed coming down. Okay, so flip zone here, and we have another level up there. Fairly simple on NASDAQ as well, right? So for some Globex trap, okay, I had already mentioned this already. So, basically in short, pin the 18,600. 18,600 NASDAQ futures lower. And what I would suggest is drilling down and refining some levels in here. Okay, and we talk about that in more detail on the education side of Phantoms. All right, I'm gonna do oil pretty quickly as well. Geez, 9:12 Eastern. All right, so oil, monthly, weekly, daily. All right, oil made a new lows on weeklies and even monthlies and even dailies. Okay, now we're coming down into this massive monthly low range here. So just know where you are on the curve or range, if you will. Okay, remember, even though this looks like oil's just going to die down, okay, and go straight to hell here, just reference yourself. Okay, we have this massive monthly level. It's been range for many years. Okay, so on the where we are on the location is fairly low on the range. Okay, so just be careful if you're short. Okay, this is going to be an area where you want to buy to cover to exit, realize some gains here. All right, and now that we are kind of low set range down here, there could be some buy to enter accumulation coming into this marketplace on said oil, right? So if I go to the 60-minute time frame, all right, there goes that massive orange level right there. Okay, on monthly, orange is monthly. We have Globex low, which is essentially right there into that monthly 68.82 handle right there. Globex high here. All right, oil's been in a tight range. Okay, now just looking at the time. Okay, some of my phantoms in here know if I go drill down into that monthly, down and left, okay, and get some refined orders, okay, inside of that monthly, okay, or I'm sorry, refined demand levels inside of that monthly, okay. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet just for right now, but if we break Globex high, this is yesterday's high here. I also have this level right here, 74.40, give or take, 73 for what's called a Globex trap short. Okay. Now I want to be a little careful here, right? We still have some liquidity here that was once demand and it broke some supply, so this needs to be absorbed here. But just remember, okay, if we do make new lows down in here, just be careful. Don't really chase these shorts down in here. I would suggest because of that monthly location here. Okay. So because we tag this monthly, we could potentially fade a bit higher over the next day or two, or going into next week into these levels of supply. So it might be getting fairly interesting in oil. Okay, so for right now, okay, as I mentioned, refine down into this monthly level, look left, okay, down into the smaller time frames to get some really good demand levels inside of that monthly, and then I'll leave this right here, 72.40, okay, for the Globex trap short up to the 73. Okay, as always, look out for a liquidity sweep as well. Okay, right above that level. Okay, gold futures. Gold, monthly, weekly, daily, bullish. Okay. We've been talking a lot about this level down in here. Okay. It's just been, all-time highs 2 weeks ago. Okay. A little bit of a doji bar here on the weeklies. So we'll calm down. Dailies are starting to base a little bit here, which is healthy. Okay. Healthy basing. And then we had daily level down in here. Okay. So I'm just going to get straight to the point, looking at the time as well. Okay, we had 2,500. I'm not sure if anybody was looking at this level, but yesterday we had a Globex low, 25.02. Today's Globex low is right there, 22s. Globex high was right here. All right, so macro picture up on gold. Okay, macro picture up. So I'm gonna be more. I want to be more of a buyer down here, so you can see. I had this daily level down in here. I was hoping that this came down. We almost touched 2,500. That was my level. I had 24.90. I have 24.80. Just rounding up here as well. Okay. If you look at any other past recordings that we're talking about this level of daily demand in blue down in here, so you want to refine levels. Okay, I'm on a 60-minute time frame, small time frame, but I'm looking for demand inside of the daily time frame as well, so multiple time frame analysis, right? I'm not sure if this is going to get down here, but right now, even if I look at the daily, we have a couple of bottoming tails that formed yesterday on the daily, coming off the 20 PM moving average. So we are in a nice little breakout move on gold futures this morning. Okay, is is it going to break out into all-time highs? I'm not sure. Okay, at some point, yes, most likely it's going to, just probability-wise. Okay, but you know, we have some stuff here that we would need to absorb. Okay, so we'll see. I was hoping that it came before it kind of sniped and swiped right back up here. I was hoping that it came lower, okay, to get some accumulation long fills, not only for day trading, but for also swing macro trading as well. Okay, and if I were to give you a little treat here, just really quickly, you go to seasonality of gold, okay, you know, over the course of, just seasonality wise, over the course of, you know, 30 years, okay, as a case study, you know, if I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but we're in the month of September, and if you scroll right here, okay, if you scroll right here, this is like typically the month of September. So the beginning of September, we're down. But overall, seasonality-wise, gold, September, October, November, December, is typically where you see gold outperforming the most on a seasonality basis, okay, charting based over the past 30 years. Now, does that mean that it's going to always happen that way? No. Okay, but just seasonality-wise, you know, edge-wise, okay, typically gold performs better, okay, towards the latter part of the year, meaning end of Q3 going into Q4. Okay, so there you go. Just a little bit of a, you know, the more you know, right? All right, so going to be pretty interesting. Again, just be patient with this because, again, markets are interesting. You know, they can just swipe down real quick. We can have a day or two, swipe down real quick, come down, fill, right? Get some people short, okay, get people scared, coming down into what, you know, into demand. And then this is where the area where we want to, you know, buy to enter and sell. Buy to enter and take those sells from those people who are trying to sell short in a higher context level of uptrend structure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. All right. I feel like I got to move on here. Let's go through a couple other things here. Let's check VIX. Okay. So it's 9. So I'm going to transition a bit. Okay. So that was S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, oil, and gold futures. Okay. I'm going to switch over to more equity and options right now. All right. While I just take a sip of coffee here real quick, we have 12 minutes before market opens. Again, that formation, okay, this is SPYs on a weekly over here, okay? So it's going to be fairly interesting here, okay? We have a little bit of a gap down this week, okay? So while I take a sip of coffee here and get my other screen booted up here, you can take a peek at that, what we just discussed. There's SPYs on a weekly. Hanging man, we'll see if we remain below, okay? All right, good to go here. So let's check VIX. See, VIX is slightly lower. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low in VIX. We had a gap up in VIX yesterday. Kind of faded down for the most part. So we're painting a 20-ish VIX, 21-ish VIX. Okay, a little bit of implied vol higher. Nothing too extreme. Okay, I also want to map this out on a intraday. So as you can see, yesterday's work. Okay, this is intraday Globex high here, overnight VIX, Globex low here. So inverse correlation. Okay, to keep it very short and sweet. There's a lot more into it. Okay, but typically just keep it short and sweet. VIX down, market up. VIX up, market down. Okay, so we'll see how this pans out for the day. Okay, unravels for the day. So I kind of just map out kind of the mid-range, the upper. I want to see if it sustains higher or if we break lower and if we sustain lower. Okay, cool. I'll leave that there. All right, we'll reference that, of course. Right now we have, I just want to check what is the, right now we have tech, a bit more of a weaker sector this morning. This is XLK, this is all the ETFs. Right now we have energy, a bit more of the stronger one pre-market. Now, be careful with energy right now because energy is overall weak, one of the weaker ones along with tech sector. Okay, but this morning, energy is pre-market wise, at least at a minimum, is a bit more stronger. Okay, we have to put that into perspective though. Energy is a bit more weaker though overall. Okay, along with technology. Technology weaker this morning. Tech. This is the extension hours here, just the pre-market quote here on the right. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, probably should have disclosed that. All right, so yeah, staples are relatively stronger. Staples, utilities, financials, and healthcare. Okay, super strong, while we have energy and tech and not panning out so well. Okay, so pretty interesting this morning that energy is holding some bids. So as oil is approaching that monthly level of demand, okay, I would not really want to be shorting oil down into that level. Okay, all right, because even the ETF, okay, is letting me know that right now a little bit of bids here. XLY 0.62%. Okay, so that staples. Sorry, discretionary. XLY is discretionary, so Tesla, Amazon is going to be the top dogs in that. All right, right now we have pre-market quote in SPYs. Okay, pre-market quote in SPYs. Okay, yesterday's low, yesterday's high. Little bit of a topping tail right now. Basically, there's no gap. Okay, SPY in 8 minutes, if we were to open right now, is absolutely no gap, completely flat right now. Okay, 550.98. Okay, typically I would go and build a what's called call and put matrix. Okay, but I don't have enough time for that right now on the tube. Okay, QQQs. Okay, yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Now QQQs are pretty interesting, as we mentioned. Okay, we'll see if we can get that right shoulder over here. We have an unfilled gap here. We have yearly VWAP right here. There's the lows of the Japan, right? So pretty interesting for today. Okay, we have close here. We have a slight gap down. As you can see, tech is still slightly, just a little bit more heavy, weaker this morning. Okay, so we'll see how that pans out. Inside gap, so nothing too crazy there. I'm going to kind of just skip over dollar and TLT for right now, but TLT, well, actually TLT is making a move here. By the way, I am long TLT in my long-term portfolio. Okay, I own TLT. I have been mentioning that since like over here. Okay, so TLT is looking good. Some money's rotating into bonds. Okay, give or take. Bond price up means yields are down. Yields down is market up. Okay, so you know, bonds are letting us know that the market might be a little bit more you know, healthy for today. We'll see how that pans out. We'll see how tech reacts on the open. Apple. Okay, I know there's a lot of stocks. Okay, but typically I like to just go over the FANG Magnificent 7 because I know that the options are really liquid. Okay, I know there's a couple other tickers and a lot of other tickers to trade. Okay, however, you know, in terms of options, I want to make sure that the option is very liquid. Okay, bid-ask spread is fairly tight. Okay, so if I'm hitting the market, which is not ideal, market pricing, okay, because I'm basically paying the market makers to fill my order, all right, but in day trading, you got to be very quick. You know, I want to make sure that the spreads are tight, okay, so I'm not giving too much away on that end of trading and investing. That requires more discussion. Right now, key takeaway, Apple, slight gap up, inside gap. All right, Apple, you know, was the stronger FANG or Magnificent 7 stock coming in. I had some really good trades. Gap up on Tesla. Oh, by the way, I'm saying this right now, even publicly on. Hey, Charlie, good to see you, brother. I'm saying this right now, even publicly on free for YouTube. I am really. Last night I was hawking Tesla. Okay, last night I got wrapped up. I was doing my analysis and things like that, you know, evening, you know, digression, looking at the day, doing my bookkeeping for the day, okay, and for the month, okay, for trading. But I stopped doing, I got so entangled in Tesla. Tesla is potentially setting up for a bullish squeeze, okay? So I am looking to swing trade Tesla. I am looking at options that are expiring in January-ish, okay? So not a day trade only. Today I might take a day, if you have a setup in Tesla. Okay, yesterday we killed Tesla. Yesterday was a beautiful day in Tesla. Oh my God, it was beautiful. Easy setup, okay? No, it doesn't always happen like that, okay? But the point that I'm trying to make, okay, on this little side rant here, is I'm really hawking Tesla right now for a potential bullish squeeze trade, okay? A lot of shorts are built up, and Tesla, when it squeezes out, it squeezes, okay? So I am looking at, you know, I'm saying January, kind of February, post-election, okay, expiration dates on Tesla, okay? All right, so yeah, I just want to make a note of that. I know that's a little side rant there, okay? But you know, for the greater good, this is what I'm looking at. So I'm really going to be focusing because we flipped above yearly VWAP on this. All right, everybody's always short Tesla. It's one of the most shorted stocks on the planet, okay? Because people get emotional and, oh, I don't like that Elon Musk, and they get emotional when they're trading and investing. I don't care, okay? I care more about, you know, the setup, okay, and taking money from those people who are emotional. This is business, right? All right, whether you love Elon, whether you hate Elon, or whether you're indifferent with Elon, doesn't matter. matter. Okay, his stock is, it's very liquid, it's very tradable. There's a lot of emotion attached to that Tesla, because you do have people that do not like Elon for whatever reason, and that's okay. Okay, but I don't really care about that. I'm more business oriented in this business, so logical in this business. So yeah, the more people hate it, the more people love it. Okay, it creates emotion. So Tesla is always the number one stock that people love to short. So in the event that this goes up, okay, because if you notice the SPYs and the Qs, all right, minus the SPYs, they're off the highs, not too much here. Okay, but Qs are a little bit off the highs. Okay, and a bit more off the highs. But while this market's kind of pulling back a little bit, and even during the August 5th, okay, everything was taking a move down. Okay, but Tesla had a little bit less of a move, and Tesla's kind of building up some steam here. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I'm not looking just for a day trade on this, but I'm looking out to even post-election, call it January, February-ish, for some options. Okay, and target area, I'm going to see. I know you might be calling me crazy here, but if this does squeeze out, because when Tesla does go and squeeze, it moves and goes, right? You see that the last squeeze that we had over here, which by the way we caught, we took a couple losses within this range here. Okay, but that's how trading goes, folks, right? Inside day, rangy, choppy, it was getting annoying, and then it finally popped. So we actually did catch this pop up, okay, in the Phantoms room. And then actually I even taught, if you go back to the recordings, okay, 271 was, I was mentioning that this was a liquidity sweep. Okay, I think our good member Donovan, I call him Mr. Football here, was mentioning this 271. I'm not sure if he caught that or not, but I remember him saying like, yeah, Mr. Blue, how do you know it's going to be going up there at 270? So the point that I'm trying to make here is, I'm doing another I'm investigating, if you will, right, on Tesla for a nice swing trade squeeze if this kind of pans out. Okay, so with the Phantoms group, we're going to be on that, especially tomorrow. I'll give you some insight on that when I'm looking at. Okay, fair enough. All right, Amazon Gap discretionary a bit more stronger today. So Amazon and Tesla, that's mainly going to be with Tesla. Okay. Okay, yeah, Amazon also has a similar setup as well. Right now, Amazon is fairly cheap, relatively speaking, okay, if you look at the fundamentals, quote unquote, okay? But again, just remember, markets can come down lower before they go higher, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, but Amazon is another one on the radar potentially as well. I'm talking for a more long-term macro, okay? Let me see. So Google's another one here as well. Google's already kind of breaking down below yearly VWAP. So I got some monthly levels down in here on Google. So on the macro picture, okay, let Google come down. I would love it. So you might even want to start to sell some puts potentially on these big down moves here. You could potentially sell some puts willing to own, okay, certain big stocks that this FANG, okay. Everybody wants to own FANG when it's high, but then when FANG and big companies, go on a nice little 20, 30% correctional move, everybody thinks it's over, all right, and then they miss some of the best times to get in. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so we have the market opening in 2 minutes, so I get excited, right? I love trading and investing, as you can tell. So there's never no shortness of words coming out of Blue's mouth, okay, when I'm on the charts. So Meta we closed here. We have a slight gap down, inside gap. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Right now, FANG is kind of wacky right now. So there's not a lot of gaps other than Tesla and Amazon that has a decent little gap. Okay, Microsoft gapping, down in mid-range. So you want to be careful. NVIDIA, another one that everybody thinks just NVIDIA is done. Okay, but I'm still looking at selling some puts here. All right, I'm hoping that this comes lower actually. Okay, semis have been just been getting hit for right now. SMH, okay, is a nice ETF that you could track for those. We have yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Right now, close yesterday was here, slight gap down in NVIDIA. So mainly mainly inside gaps. AMD caught a nice trade yesterday, which was very difficult to get because it was an inside bar. Okay, but today we have close here, slight gap down here, still outside gap from yesterday's close. But I still mapped out this yesterday, Tuesday, I should say, high and low, because that's the mother bar here. AVGO. Actually, AVGO has a bit more of a pain gap lower relative to the other ones. I love AVGO, Broadcom. This is another bullish setup, more macro picture. So I'm hoping that this comes lower for more portfolio trading long term. But right now, I would like to see that have gapped down a little bit lower there. But okay, market's just open. So let's just check some VIX here. All right. Actually, Apple has turned out to be a decent gap bottoming tail outside gap here. So Apple, fairly decent. We'll see, but be patient. Let the first bars close here. All right, there's that bell. Be patient. Let me just check VIX and internals just really quickly. Get a foot, thumb on the pulse here. All right, too early for cumulative tick. I want to get advanced declines. Okay, advanced declines, positive 1050. Extreme is positive negative 13. So advanced declines up. Okay, we'll see if that holds or fades up or continues lower. All right, S&Ps, trying to do an up click move here. All right, Vol D, this is very early, but right now it's painting a Vol D up, New York Stock Exchange volume up versus down. Ratio is painting a 3-to-1. That's a bit extreme to the upside for right now. All right, and we got VIX taking a down clip just right off the open. All right. All right, just be careful. Tesla, okay, just be careful. Remember, longer term, come on, take a swim. Longer term takes time. It's killing me here. So I don't want you to get too excited on Tesla this morning, you get trapped, so be careful. The point that I'm trying to make is we are gapping up on Tesla. Yes, outside gap up, but we are in this little level of supply right here, so just be a bit more patient on that, okay? Let's see. Amazon, we have to be a little careful here. We are coming into a little bit level here, a bit of a level here on this. So Amazon wide range bar. I've opened. All right, let's see, Apple. Bottoming tail, positive COG on Apple. Apple long call, good formation here off the open. Now, the challenge with this morning is going to be most of these stocks are going to be coming into some levels created on Tuesday, which is the first trading day of the week there. So we do have some levels here on the intermediate time frame that we would have to absorb here. All right, so Apple right off the gate, I love but daily overrides the, now we have a daily 20 PM moving average right here, so there's some stuff here, but Apple long call right off the gate, we can work on this here, because I like the daily formation. Okay, so Apple, this is yesterday's trade, so kind of ignore that down here at the bottom. For today, September 6th, let me see, long call. Let me see, if I were to pick up, say, the 225 strike, okay, call, they're going for about $1.20. All right, stop loss 220.12. Actually, that's going to be 220.12. See some risk on this. All right, if you were to buy these for $1.15, all right, about a risk about $40 on these, $1.25. All right, so this bottom one, I'm going to pick up the 225 strike call September 6th for a day trade on Apple long call, okay? Right here on the bottom one where my cursor is. All right. All right, just got filled at 125 on that. Apple long call. 225 strike. Let's put a pin in that right there. All right, stop loss 220.12. I conditioned it for. There's about 40 cents of risk on that. Tesla. All right, Tesla is giving us a nice little 2-minute positive COG here. All right, seems like it might want to be clearing this level here. Yeah, we cleared that little supply level there. So Tessie, long call. Amazon looking juicy too. Yesterday's was madness in Tesla. Options almost 100% up on that. Now be careful with this one today. We do have a little bit of a level that we're approaching there. So if you wanted to keep your delta slightly down just a little bit, you could pick up the 227 or you could pick up the 230. If I were to pick up the 230 here, strike, that's going for about 230 actually. the ironically 230 call strike, and they're going for $2.30 in terms of price. So long call Tesla here for day trade. All right, and pick these up for they gave me 250. Long call Tessie. Microsoft, Amazon as well. Anybody snag Amazon? Amazon was looking juicy here. I don't want to chase too much on this. Discretionary, a bit more stronger this morning. Let me see, I pick up the 180. I'm a little bit late on this. These are going for about 88 cents, give or take. This is 31 delta, so it's very cheap out here. So I'm gonna be a little bit careful. If you wanted a bit more delta, you could pick up the 177.5. All right, usually I don't like to buy on like, new highs, but right out the gate, this is looking fairly good. Wide range bought 5 off, open, discretionary strong, nice gap. Yesterday's red bar above yesterday's close, not bad here. So actually, I'll pick up the 170 strike here. All right, 177.5 strike for 198. All right, filled these at 205. Probably a little late to these. Let's see, Meta. I see Meta decent as well, reclaiming back above the 20 here. Fang's fairly decent, healthy here this morning so far. Microsoft breaking above yesterday's high. Microsoft been rangy, I will say. Microsoft looking decent. All right, Microsoft looking decent here. Wide range bar, continuation here. Off open. All right, Tesla popping new highs here. I'm going to TP some Tesla here. Spies trying to gun higher. All right, these are going for, I bought these at 250. They're going for 340 right now at the bottom there. TP some Tesla. TP means take profit. All right, I'm going to take some profit off some Tesla here, just to get the morning kind of going. All right, so I got filled at 315. All right, bought these at 250, got at some here at 315. All right, that blue line is where kind of, I got in-ish, give or take, and then I just TP1 here. All right, still in. Let's see, Microsoft is playing ball. Okay, so Microsoft got a decent little pullback there. I didn't want to buy on highs here, so, Microsoft's setting up here. All right, decent on the pullback. All right, Amazon, I got a little bit late on this, so I just want to TP just a little bit here to reduce some exposure. Actually, I can't because, it's only up about 3 cents. So we'll see. I'm a little bit late on Amazon. Let's see, Spies. All right. Spies a little choppy. Let's see, Apple. Apple's at, probably should have shaved off some Apple there too. to break even. QQQ. Yeah, right now Qs are like Qs are a little relative strength. Nice Tesla. Make sure you take some profit on Tesla. We are entering into another level of supply up here. Okay, you all see that? I'm on a daily time frame here. So just make sure you're taking profit diligently on Tesla here. All right. Let me see. Yeah, Qs are a bit more stronger here, just off the out the gate, at least at a minimum, because Fang is catching some bids. Fang meaning the Magnificent Seven for right now. Microsoft's having a little harder time overall. AVGO. Daily chart on the right. 2 minute on the left. Pull a daily VWAP. See Google. All right, make sure you take some profit on Tesla up here too. Apple and Amazon taking a little bit of a pause there. Tesla. $230. They're still going for about 305. I'm gonna shave out a bit of Tesla here. TP a bit more Tesla here. Let's see. All right, so just got filled at 297 on some Tesla. All right, Apple pulling back. All right, probably missed my chance to scale out a little bit there on Apple. All right, be patient. All right, Microsoft is up there, but formation-wise, it's a little bit a laggard. Let me just check VIX real quick. Man, the time, I already got my 1 minute warning on the time. Time flies here. VIX still steady. Internals. Vol D calmed down a bit there. All right, just be patient. Just remember where we are on the bigger scale, right? On the bigger, higher time frames. All right, Microsoft, I have to wait for a positive, what's called a positive COG here on Microsoft. All right, so so here's that white dashed line is VWAP. So if we get a positive COG, Microsoft might be a decent entry there on a setup. Now Amazon, I might be actually looking at. Let me just make sure where we on the higher time frames on Amazon. Now Amazon on the daily time frame, we do have a little level right there, right? You can see Amazon has a couple of bottoming tails here, so interesting. Amazon is on a basing. It's going to be fairly interesting to see what if Amazon breaks these bottoming tails weekly back above on alignment above the rising 20. So just be, this might actually, if you're working on Amazon, it might be an ad coming on soon. All right. Somebody said John Deere. By the way, JP Morgan, not bad if XLF is going to stay strong or strength. Okay, JP Morgan has a decent little swing buy set up down in here at the 215 handle. Somebody said John Deere, DE. Let's see, monthly, weekly, daily, kind of choppy here. Monthly, look at monthly, yeah. Weekly, choppy, daily. This one's a tough read here, just to the higher time frames. It's for the day, it is slight gap down. That little, I'll be careful with this stock here. for day trading options on it. Right now, we're actually, this is a disalignment, meaning a monthly decent little hammer bar monthly close on a liquidity sweep last month of August, but this is back above the rising 20 mid-range. It's mid-range on monthlies, slightly bullish, back above the rising 20, rangy. Weeklies, it's trying to punch. All right, but so far for the week, it has a topping tail. We're not done yet for the week, and then today we have it was topping tail yesterday, then we're below yesterday's low. So disalignment. So even if I wanted to short this, I'd be very careful because on the monthlies and the weeklies, it's still trying to hold some upward edge. That's stage, what's called stage disalignment. So not ideal. Tesla new high. I'm going to TP some more here on this new high. 15-minute. If I don't have the higher time frames, just not to rain on anybody's parade. If I don't have the high time frames lined up, I don't give a shit about the small time frames. I don't care about this. Make sure I'm correcting that. Mic check. Can y'all hear me? Mic check. Just sold some off Tesla here. Got 355 fill. One hour, yeah, it's intermediate time frame still, but again, monthly, weekly, daily is going to be the major factor. You can see spies are hard to trust these days. In the beginning. So, just be careful. So make sure for my phantoms, make sure you're painting those bars there. So knowing when to trade a certain ticker and knowing when to not trade a certain ticker, I think is a major factor in professional trading. Knowing when to do something, knowing when to not do something, knowing what is the right condition to do something, knowing when is the wrong condition to do something or not do something. All right. So, anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. All right, you can see calm down, right? Just calm down a little bit here. We got Apple, nothing really following through here. You can see spies are very, very choppy, very rangy right now. It doesn't surprise me at all. So again, Tesla's the Microsoft not really lining up properly. Okay, so this is not good. You don't want to see this. Okay. Got wide range bar here, yes. We've got topping tails here, so we're back on VWAP, just kind of ranging out. All right, Amazon's coming on its VWAP here. Check VIX. I'm already over time here. VIX still fairly calm. Advanced declines decreasing just a little bit. Okay, so if Amazon can get back above here, we could maybe potentially add to that. All right, Tesla new highs. Getting deeper into the zone. All right, y'all doing good on Tesla. I'm going to TP some more Tesla here, coming deeper into this level. And Tesla's up a 10 stick, 4%, nice. TP some, Amazon, not Amazon, Tesla. All right, from 250, they're going for $4 right now. So I'm going to lock that in here. Some Tesla, TP, some more, take some more profit on Tesla. Apple, Amazon still kind of maneuvering around, whatever, hanging around. 390 fill on this. I'm still in. You know, bringing my size down up here as we get closer and deeper into the supply. But so take profit, and then trail stop. All right, we discussed this in the live trade room as well. This is like TP4 or whatever. All right, so Tesla's looking good for you kind of non-Phantoms members. All right, bring up the liquidity map. All right, there we go, quadrant 3 and 2. All right, so, you know, this is why I'm selling out equal to a new highs. I'm selling out. I don't chase highs, right? I like to, you know, we got long here, so I'm just quadrant number 2 here, sell to exit some. All right. Microsoft not giving us that setup there. We got Amazon holding its VWAP, a couple of, you know, basing right now. And then what was Apple doing? Apple is trying to chug here, potentially trying to work itself out. All right, stop loss on this could be trailed. Actually, Apple might be an add here. Apple's positive COG here. It's not closed yet, though. You might want to wait for a close. But Apple might be a decent little add here. All right, I'm already long at the 225 strike, and I bought these for 125. They're going for 139. I'm going to add to Apple actually here. I'm going to add. Okay, adding to Apple. Okay. And just got filled on that order at 145. Looks like they gave me. Okay, so I got 125 and I bought these again at 145. So I just added to Apple. Okay. So long call day trade. And then give or take, you know, right here. You know, give or take, added. Or if we pop equal to, or if we pop new high here, go on a TP campaign. All right. All right, now stop loss originally was down here, so we can start to trail a little bit here because we have our first kind of impulse correction VWAP test. Okay, so now our original risk, okay, from down here, okay, could start to be getting brought up. All right, too early to put it right here, right now. All right, see if we can get a pop new high here. Okay, if we pop new high, TP, trail. Okay, TP meaning take profit. All right, matter of fact, you could already TP some because if you bought them at 125 right here, okay, they're going for 147. Now we just added at 145. Okay, but if you were to TP some right now, you'd lock in some of the 125 call fill, and you take profit at 148. All right, but we can see if we can get a little pop new high here, see if we can get a little more juice pump on that. All right. Amazon, did anybody add to Amazon here too as well? Doing the same thing here. VIX new lows. TP Apple. There we go, new high. So the Phantoms know the deal, equal to new high. Good job, y'all. So Apple new high, distribution. All right, quadrant number 2. Okay, number 2, sell to exit, TP Apple. TP some apples. All right, they're trading for 166 on the sell here. So I'm gonna unload some Apple here. Got filled at 164. Bottom at 125, added at 145. Just filled some here at 164 TP. Good job, y'all. All right, now we made a new high, trail stop. Okay. Smooth. Smooth is good. All right, we can unload more here. News at 10, yes sir, Asher. Okay, TP some. They're going for 170. All right, 175, got 179 on the fill. TP some Apple, we got news in a couple of minutes, right? So TP. God, I love Tesla. Yeah, me too. Yes, sir. It's one of my faves. What is happening here? All right, make sure you are TPing. We have news in 3 minutes. TP and trail your stop. Okay. All right, I'm even gonna unload a little bit more size here on Apple as well, okay? Because we get news coming out. All right, I'm gonna unload a little more here. All right, I'm not letting all my size go. 177 fill. I'm not letting all my size go, but I'm just, if I take profit, I am taking some risk off the table, right? Before news comes out. All right, you with me? All right, unloaded some size. Make sure your stop loss can be, you know, at or around break even on Tesla. I unloaded some decent size there. All right. All right, Amazon, let's unload. Unload some Amazon here while we have it. All right, I got in late on these, so I gotta unload some Amazon here. It's not a big trade here because I got in like really late on it, but it's okay, it's going. I unloaded some Amazon, not a lot here, nothing to shout home about, but got some fills at 214 on the you know, pricing of the option. All right, news is out. All right, I'm gonna TP some more Amazon here on this little pump up here. All right, got some fills at 227. All right, y'all doing good? All right, SPY's trying to break out. All right, Amazon going for 233. Should unload. Let me check some other tickers here. Tesla, shave out some more. I mean, basically everything for the most part. SPY's trying to break out on the bar high. Q is ripping a little bit there. All right, let me shave out some more Tesla here. Got a nice pump. Tesla's #1 dog right now. All right, Amazon printing 240 from 205. All right, Tesla's ripping, absolute monster. Second day in a row from 250 to 445. Nice, lock that in. All right, trying to get some here from 250 to 430. All right, got 420. Nice, 420. Nice. All right, don't have a lot left on Tesla, but beautiful trade. It's ripping, so that's good. Microsoft gave an entry if you took it. Amazon, let me unload a little Amazon here. That's the one that I didn't unload as much here. And I gotta go, folks, but yeah, there you go. Couple trades here, fairly decent. TP some Amazon. I'm gonna have to close this out right now. You know, I'm gonna work on SPYs and Qs and SPX. I wanted to give a little time and space for indexes. As they've been kind of a little choppy, give or take. So, you know, pretty nice. You know, market's been opening up a little bit now with Qs and SPYs. Come on, fill me. There we go. So I got a 259 fill on Amazon here. So there's more trading setups even this morning. All right. All right, stop losses could be at break even now. All right, so we got a nice little move here. And Apple making new highs here, so let me distribute some more Apple. I added to this, so I put on, you know, some more risk on said Apple. So, you know, let me unload some risk here. They're going for about 189 here, okay, 187-ish. Somebody's like, damn, SPY. Yeah, SPY did a little move. Nothing too crazy for right now. Still early. All right, got filled at 182, looks like they gave me. So again, I'm just distributing some Apple here, okay? All right, folks, that's it. So I'm gonna go, I gotta do my thing here. Hopefully you'll enjoy this. Maybe yeah, maybe no. If yeah, cool. If no, still cool. All right, make sure your stop losses are, you know, protected, safe. Okay, don't chase markets. Damn, Tesla. Holy smokes. All right, Tesla, let's go. Beautiful. Tesla, absolute madness from yesterday into today as well. Those 230s are going for, yeah, looking forward to a Tesla swing. I'm almost in the back of my head. I'm like, no, Tesla, don't do this right now. Wait, wait to come down. So I'm catching it for the day, but I don't want it to get too far up because I'm looking to get bullish. So I don't want it to. I don't want it to go yet. I want to get in loaded up on the swing. But you know, we have to be patient too because you know it doesn't mean that's gonna pop off. Again, I'm going into like January/February expiration. Okay, so you know, just because we have a massive day here today, which we're catching for the day, right? You know, go through. I'm gonna go through my process of swing, okay, all that kind of good stuff, right? But I'm hoping this doesn't kick off, you know what I mean, too far here today, right? Let me unload a little Tesla here because I would be fairly annoyed if I did not, and I wanted to show y'all that too, right here live. Here. So yeah, we bought these at 250. They're going for a 520. So, you know, options are up 100% on these right here, just, you know, in the first 45 minutes of the open. Okay. It doesn't always happen like this, but when the conditions are right and the chart setups are proper, and you're doing the right executions, you can get, fills. You can get moves like this, right? So I got filled at 545. So from 250 to 545, and this is yesterday's madness. We bought these at 274 and we sold them at 545. So it's crazy. Almost the same thing that happened yesterday, how it happened today. All right. So this is yesterday and today in Tesla live. Okay. So yesterday was a massive day in Tesla. Okay. Today, massive day in Tesla. It doesn't always happen like that. All right. But yeah, so, I'm not trying to, harp on anybody or rain on anybody's parade or make myself better than anybody else. Okay. I treat everybody equally, no matter their experiences. Right. But like something like John Deere. I mean, what's John Deere, for example, comparing it to something like Tesla that has a little bit more of an edge-based setup versus something like John Deere that's in the middle of range and things like that. So just knowing, again, in closing here, just knowing what your setup looks like, the proper location, the proper alignment, okay, and then execute when your strategy says execute, right? Buyers and sellers, it's all looking for, okay? People, shorts getting squeezed out on Tesla. People love to short Tesla, okay? And if prices are going up, they need to buy to exit. They need to buy to exit. As traders like myself that don't really give a crap about the thoughts of Elon and things like that. All right, I'm looking at, oh my God, look at this, a positive CRG off the open, wide range bar. Okay, this signifies that buyers are overtaking sellers back above VWAP, above the 20, above the 200. Pretty simple. Okay, 3 lines, 2 colors, no emotions, no feelings, and there you go. Does that make sense? And we get Tesla right up 6%. Okay, 6% for the day. All right, and options are up 100%. All right, so it doesn't always happen like this. Don't get me wrong, right? But this is why process, system, understanding, valid setups versus not valid setups, and being patient, waiting for the proper setups. That's what trading's all about, right? And then analyzing your risk, and then risk reward ratio. Keep a positive expectancy model with satisfied rewards for said risk, and you'll do very well and be consistent. Consistent. Okay, I try to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Okay, I took this Tesla trade a million times in my career, right? Right? Does that make sense? So the millionth time in one is no different. It's just a matter of myself or the trader, not about myself, but the trader putting themselves in the right position. That's why they call it a position. Putting myself in the right position for opportunity. Okay, and yeah, could this have been wrong? Of course, I'm wrong all the time. Okay, but when I'm wrong what? I'm wrong small, and I'm out when my edge says, hey, Mr. Blue, you're wrong, get out. Okay, fair enough, I'm out, cut it, right? When I'm wrong, I cut losers. When I'm right, I ride winners. Okay, does that make sense? So you always have to put that into context, right? So, we took these options from 250 and I just sold some off at 525. Okay, but if I was wrong, I would have been only wrong, I didn't run a risk profile on this, but even Apple, for example, would have been wrong about 40 cents, 50 cents. All right, I can't really, I didn't see Tesla, but maybe, even if I said, okay, we were wrong $1 on these, I bought these for 250, and if I got stopped out because we had no follow through originally down in here, okay, maybe, let's say I would have lost $1, okay, per contract. Okay, so that I'm proven wrong. Small loss, out, right? No follow through today. Okay, no big deal. But then when you're right multiple, right? Multiple R ratios, right? And that's what's important. Okay, all right. Proper setup. Execution over emotion. Execution over emotion. All right, folks. That's it. Hopefully, y'all had a good morning here. This is Mr. Blue here. Okay, if this is kind of tooting your horn, all right, make sure you move your stop loss to break even and all that. Okay, you can still continue to work on this if you know what you're doing here. If this is kind of tooting your horn, okay, hit up TradePhantoms.com, TradePhantoms.com. All right, you can click that register button there, okay? We have live trade rooms, education, all that kind of stuff. Yes, of course, right? There's a monthly subscription. We're not hiding that at all, okay? Right, Thursday, September 5th, which is today, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? There's going to be an hour and a half session today. Type in your email there, get sent a link. Okay, Mr. Black or Mr. Green is going to be hosting that said class this evening, and this is kind of the agenda: how markets work from professionals. Okay, institutional order flow, how professionals analyze. Okay, multi directions, up, down, and sideways options. You can trade and make money even if the market's going sideways. Okay, whether you're right. So all assets, stocks, futures, forex, options. Okay, all styles of trade. Day trading, you just saw a little day trading and options. Okay, futures, of course, as well, and then of course trading for side income, okay, in the beginning of maybe your career, okay, small account, maybe trading on the side for right now as you learn, okay, all the way to wealth management, protecting the longer term portfolios, right? So all the way from day trading, okay, to kind of mid swing trading, all the way to long term investing, holding things for 20 sub years, give or take, for long term portfolio macro picture stuff. Okay, so kind of one stop shop for everything there, give or take. Okay, cool. Again, TradePhantoms.com. All right, that's it for me, folks. For right now, I'll see some of y'all Phantoms members tonight, this evening. Today's Thunder Thursdays, okay? And then we'll be live, God willing, tomorrow morning as well on Friday for the live trade room. That being said, Blue out. God bless. Take care. Trade safe.